This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. Welcome to episode, I know the number today because it's a big one, episode 300. Let me just start by saying, holy crap, and then finish that off with, yeah, holy crap, I can't believe we've done 300 of these. 5 years ago we started doing this silliness, and we didn't get bored of it yet, so anyway.
No,
I'm your host.
The thing about it is we would be 660 if we used the metric system.
I don't get it.
That'd be like 300 times 2.2. Okay.
Mason's not here. We're not obligated to do math on this podcast.
All right. Well, that's the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Recording stopped.
I still don't consent, lady.
I am your host, Ede. In today's game, we will be pitting the Benchwarmer team of Matt and Scott versus Benchwarmer Tako and returning player Alex Binder. How you doing, sir? Why don't you take a minute, remind us who you are? I know you've been on quite a bit, but I think it's been a minute since you were here, so the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you. It's been, I think, 2 years maybe. I've had another kid. I have 4 boys now, and I also got a promotion at work, so I've been insanely busy with all of that, but I missed you guys, so I'm not sure I'm worthy of the honor of being on the 300th episode, but
I'm not either, but I'm still here.
That's right.
No,
I want to shout out, I work at Pittsburgh State, the only gorillas in the country, and our athletic teams are killing it. Our track dynasty continues with the men's and women's winning the indoors and the national championship, and our lady gorillas are in the Final Four, playing in the other Pittsburgh, the one with the H right now, so go gorillas.
So trivia questions to kick this off is what's the female name for a lady gorilla? Is there one?
I should know that, but
oh, see, here it is already. Negative points already. All right, and Tako, how you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Nothing new to report. It's almost spring break in teacher world, and I'm very happy about that. And our team name for this episode, because we love some gorillas athletics, we will be Only Gorillas in the Nation.
All right, and we're going to throw it over to Scott and Matt. Let us know how you guys are doing, and team name, please.
I think I'll go first since Scott's got the team name, maybe. So we're just going to point at each other here on the Zoom because this obviously is a very visual medium. Hi, I'm Matt. Nice to meet you. I'm a Virgo. I enjoy long walks on the beach. That's all I got. Scott.
Well, 300 episodes, Matt. I think we've teamed up for like 245 of them, maybe.
I think you're right. Nailed it.
I might be lowballing, but
Pretty
yeah.
sure we might be the most teamed up pair.
David will come in and be like, actually, it's crazier
if only
than you
there
think.
was a way for us to count. But unfortunately, we don't care.
But it is our 300th episode, and I felt like because of that, our team name should reflect that milestone. So 300. So I was thinking today, I was like, well, what can we do off 300? We could have a Gerard Butler inspired theme name. Then I looked and I was like, well, who has 300 homers exactly? And only one person does, fun fact, and it's Chuck Klein. And he retired in 1939. So I don't know who that is. So that wasn't going to work.
It was who?
So then
you broke up there when you said it was. Who was it?
Chuck Klein, who
Chuck
I
Klein?
thought did my taxes last week, but apparently he played baseball and retired in 1939. So that didn't work. So then I went to the NFL and I thought, what about 300 touchdown passes? Who's in that area? And there happens to be someone with exactly 300 touchdown passes. His name is John Elway. And so I thought to honor our 300th episode, we will have a John Elway inspired, and tonight we will be Horseface Milestone.
So just to be clear, this is our 300th official episode, but all together, we've had 422 releases. So, I mean, we're closer to 500 than we are to 300. So
Fine. Go ahead. Take the specialness away from this episode that I'm hosting that I put so much work in. And when I say so much, I started writing this yesterday.
we love you, Eric.
Listen, I give you guys all my time. Well, since this is 300, we have a very, very special guest here with us today. I'm going to throw it over to the Schwab. Oh, no?
Oh.
He's not. He's gone. Never mind. He left. All right. Well, let's throw it over to Dan because he is here. Dan, what are the rules?
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
All right. Today's first quarter will be pre and post game.
Pre and post game. For this quarter, there will be 4 before and after style questions. For example, if I said, what all-time leader in receptions for the Indianapolis Colts was a Notre Dame safety drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, the answer would be Marvin Harrison Smith. Each question is worth 25 points.
All right. So pre and post game today. It's the NFL mock draft edition. Half of each of these answers will be a prospect in the upcoming 2025 NFL draft. Matt, wake up. You're fine. So, yeah, that's what you're with Scott anyway. You won't even have to think for any of these questions.
Good, because that's typically I don't want to think. So,
all right. Well, let's start with question number 1. Quarterback who spells his first name wrong was the 2025 Gator Bowl MVP and the 2024 first team All-SEC. And the second African-American head coach in NFL history, coaching the Raiders from 89 to 94, and then also in 2006.
We're checked in.
All right, Horseface Milestones checked in. Only gorillas in the nation. Talk it out.
Yeah, I think you're right that the first half is Ole Miss legend Jackson Dart, and the second half I'm almost positive is Art Shell, so that all fits together. So we'll check in with Jackson Dart Shell.
And actually hearing somebody say it out loud, I love it. Over to Horseface Milestone.
I hope he goes round 1 to the Steelers. We checked in with Jackson Dart Shell.
Yes, both teams getting their points here. I've seen mock drafts to the Jets, and I was not aware he was even rumored to be in the first round until just recently. And now it's going to be like last year. People are just going to throw as many, for lack of a better word, darts that they can at quarterbacks this year. So that's how
what if we
J.J.
called him
McCarthy
just
went in the first round?
If we just call him Jax, and the Cowboys drafted him, you could have Dak and Jax.
Oh, then you'd also have my favorite Mortal Kombat character.
All right. Question number 2. Potential top 5 pick in the 2020 NFL draft who went to school with another potential top 5 pick in the 2025 NFL draft, and either an outfielder who currently plays for the Royals, do I have that wrong, or a Raiders wide receiver who last played in 2024. Depends on how you spell their last name.
Checked in.
All right. Horseface Milestones checked in. That means only gorillas in the nation can talk it out.
Yep, I think we just got there. Second half would be the Hunter's Renfro.
That means it's got to be Travis Hunter for the first parts.
Yep, Shador's teammate, Heisman winner, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, we'll check in Travis Hunter Renfro.
And Horseface Milestone, what you got?
We're going to check in with Travis Hunter Renfro, whichever one they didn't check in with.
Okay. Both teams giving completely different answers. Both teams getting points. The correct answer is Travis Hunter Renfro. Yeah, one is spelled Renfroe, and the other one is Renfrow. And I didn't know he didn't play last year.
He did not, and it's
the Raiders one.
It's weird because there were so many wide receivers in the league who are not as good as him, who were on rosters,
right?
And like he's got a good motor.
Is that the white guy wide receiver thing?
That's your white guy.
He's scrappy. He's a coach's kid.
Yeah.
First one in, last one out.
Good hands, great route runner.
Cerebral.
Black top end speed.
Young Cole Beasley.
Yes.
All right. All right. Question number 3. Big Ten tight end who should be the first one off the board in the 2025 NFL draft and the Hall of Fame pitcher who won the Cy Young in 1957. See, Matt, a little bit for everybody.
I know this, Matt, but I want to know if you know the 1957 Cy Young Award winner, so I won't check in yet. So for everyone, Matt did know.
I don't know.
19.
Oh, okay.
Matt did know the 1957 Cy Young Award winner because I just picture young, and by I mean young, like college age Matt Doherty in 1957, standing outside the stadium, waiting to get an autograph on papyrus from the 1957 Cy Young Award winner. We're checked in.
All right, Horseface Milestone checked in. Only Gorillas in the Nation. You guys can talk it out.
Yeah, well, we had the last name of the first part was Warren, and Matt came up with Tyler Warren, which I'm pretty sure is right. So we had Tyler Warren, and the only baseball player I could think of with the first name Warren is Warren Spahn. So we are also checking in with Tyler Warren Spahn.
Well, we don't know what they checked in with yet, so they might be wrong.
They didn't say it yet. Okay. My bad.
So yes, over to Horseface Milestone.
Go ahead, Matt.
Me?
You were at the game, every game of his Cy Young Award winning season. So
You saw every pitch.
I just wrote down, I'm going to guess that it was Warren Spahn that won 1957. And then Scott said, yep, Tyler Warren Spahn. I'm like, okay, sure. Tyler, there you go. I don't know who Tyler Warren is. So
All right, well, Tyler Warren.
I'm assuming he's a tight end somewhere in the Big Ten. I didn't really,
Yeah.
I was busy this fall. I didn't get to watch a lot of college football.
know your host. He's Penn State.
I was
Big
going to guess
Ten
Penn State.
legend, Penn State legend, and hopefully not a bust in the NFL. So unless he goes to like the Eagles, and then I hope he dies.
You don't see a lot of tight end busts like in that mold. I think he's going to be fine.
I think so. He's like that Sam Laporta type.
Yeah,
you know.
he's going to.
All right. Yes, both teams getting their points. Correct answer is Tyler Warren Spahn. I already touched on that a little bit. And let's move on to question number 4 of pre and post game. Golden Domer quarterback that only lasted 4 years in the league starting in 2007, and the quarterback that was in the way of Arch Manning.
We can check in.
Only Gorillas in the Nation checked in. Horseface Milestone. Talk it out.
I actually knew the second part. I was sitting there thinking, had to think for a minute about the first part, but then, yeah.
What's
Go
the
ahead.
second part?
You sent it over, so I know it now.
I just want to give you your credit. Your, as the kids say, your flowers, man.
Quinn, however you say his last name, Ewers or
Quinn Ewers, yes.
yeah,
Correct. So I'm thinking Brady Quinn is the only.
that sounds.
I mean,
right.
there was Jonathan, it's like a Bears quarterback. Ida will remember him because he is weirdly obsessed with Bears quarterbacks.
But
yeah,
I was gonna.
there's-
I mean, I knew the Quinn part, but I knew who it was. I just was gonna take a minute to get to Brady Quinn. But
Yeah,
Brady
yeah.
Quinn, whose sister is famously married to
A.J.
former
Hawk,
Packers
yes.
linebacker AJ Hawk.
I think her name's Laura. We're checking in with Brady Quinn Ewers.
Yes, and there's no such thing as being weirdly obsessed with Bears quarterbacks because
Just obsessed.
that is it's not weird at all because it is the most interesting thing that has ever happened in life. Yes, both teams getting their points. Correct answer is Brady Quinn Ewers. Hopefully, let's see if was Arch Manning's a couple years away still from the draft, not next year, but the year after, right? Unless he like goes off.
I think
Well,
he could theoretically come out after next year.
I think he can come out after next year.
Because he redshirted the freshman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he should, because if we see anything about quarterbacks these days,
But 2024 was his first full year in college, right? And he only played in a couple of games, so he redshirted last year, right? So he could play another 4 years, right?
3. He's got 3 years left.
But
of,
that's
I think,
not
eligibility.
Oh wait, was 2024 his second year in college, or
Yes.
was it his?
I think it
I
was,
thought it
yeah.
was his
That was his
first year.
second.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played a little bit last year. I know he showed up in the Georgia.
Yeah, but they
Texas
changed
development.
that redshirt
He wasn't
rule where
bad
you could
either.
actually play like what, 2 games or 3
Yeah,
games or
something
something
like
like
that.
that.
but
He
he's
played just
think he's
barely
gone out.
in 2023. Like I think he played like 1 game in
Yeah,
2023.
because I remember they changed those rules, and then because they want like the younger quarterbacks to play early on in the season in those games where they're playing puff games, play them in a third and fourth, so the team can actually evaluate them.
Yeah, I think we checked in, but I don't think we ever said our answer.
Nobody
Out loud.
cares,
For that
Alex.
one? Okay,
Oh,
well,
sorry. What'd you guys have?
yeah, we both. have
DeShone
Brady
Kizer.
Quinn.
Soze. Nice, Scott.
All right, DeShone Kizer Soze.
Yeah, we also checked in with Brady Quinn Ewers.
Well, after the first quarter, we have a score of only Gorillas in the Nation with 100 and Horseface Milestone. They're slightly behind with 100.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
All right. Well, let's move on to the second quarter. And today's second quarter will be curriculum vitae.
Curriculum vitae. In this round, the host will list the teams and years for which a player spent time and may also give a few fun facts about each player. Each question is worth 20 points.
All right. So this one is the traded waiver edition. So every one of these players was traded or waived at some point during a season, either once or twice. All right. So question number 1, 1990 to 1991 season to the 2000-2001 season with the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2001 through 2002 and 2003 through 2004 with the Washington Capitals. Traded to the New York Rangers, where he would stay until 2007 through 2008. In 2011 through 2012 with the Philadelphia Flyers, 2012 through 2013 with the Dallas Stars, traded to the Boston Bruins, where he would stay until 2014. And then through 2014 through 2015, the New Jersey Devils, traded again, 2014 to 2015 through 2016 through 2017, the Florida Panthers, and then finally, in 2017 through 2018, the Calgary Flames.
Yeah, we can check in.
All right. Only Gorillas in the Nation checked in. Worst face smile tone talk it out.
I honestly, I'm sorry. I much like Eric, I didn't pay attention to a part of the whole thing that he was reading. So the first thing I heard was 2000 to 2001. So as soon as you sent over Jaromir Jagr, and I'm like, are you crazy? What are you talking about? And then I thought, 90, 91. Okay, now that does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Because in my mind, he's a Penguin. I always see him as a Penguin.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Cool.
Sure. Let's do it.
Checking in, Jaromir Jagr.
All right. And over to Only Gorillas in the Nation.
Yeah, we had the same reasoning. The only player we could think of who played that long and was a Penguin to start was Jaromir Jagr. So.
All right. Both teams getting their points. Yes, it is Jaromir Jagr. And if you go back to episode 9, maybe.
Very early.
Yeah. One of our first. Jaromir Jagr's Jock Salt. Or Jocks.
Yeah, Jock Salt.
Anyway. Question number 2. 1995 through 1998, Carolina Panthers. Waived. 1998, New Orleans Saints. 1999 through 2003, the New York Giants. 2004 through 2005, the Oakland Raiders. 2006 through 2010, the Tennessee Titans. And finally, in 2011, the Indianapolis Colts.
We will check in.
All right. Horseface Milestones checked in. Only Gorillas in the Nation you guys can talk about.
I think we're kind of in agreement here. I saw Giants to Raiders to Titans, and the first guy that popped into my head was Kerry Collins. And then I am fairly confident that he started in Carolina or was in Carolina really early in his career. So
yeah, I thought maybe he played earlier than that. Those years seemed later in my memory of it, and I didn't know the Panthers part, but the rest of it fits with Kerry Collins. So.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything better. So all right, we'll check in Kerry Collins.
All right, and over to Horseface Milestone.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I can't remember the Colts thing at all. I have no recollection of him lasting until 2011, which is interesting because that's like the year Manning was hurt, I believe, right? So his last year with the Colts when he was hurt, and they were trotting out like Curtis Painter and all of those guys before they drafted Andrew Luck. But I don't remember him being there, but the rest made sense. Penn State legend. We checked in with Kerry Collins.
All right. Both teams getting their points. Yes, it is Kerry Collins' 5th overall pick in 1995 by the Carolina Panthers. Basically, the way he left the Panthers is he went up to Coach Dom Capers at the time and said that he wasn't happy and didn't feel like playing anymore. And then he was asked to be traded, but they then instead placed him on waivers. He later would come out and say that he didn't intend to quit the Panthers. He just wanted to sit out a couple weeks. So just middle of the season. This isn't
Yeah.
the NBA. You can't just take a break.
This is
Is that what he
Dennis
thought? Is
Rodman.
that what he thought 2 weeks notice means? He
Yes.
gave notice that he wanted to take 2 weeks off.
He had a vacation planned. I'm just like, I really have these tickets.
I just really need a break. I need some time off.
On to question number 3. All right. This player, 1999, 2000 season through the 2001, 2002 season with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The 2002, 2003 season with the LA Clippers. 2003, 2004 through 2006, 2007 with the Denver Nuggets. Traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, where he would stay until 2008, 2009. And in 2009, 2010 through 2010, 11, Portland Trailblazers. Then 11, 12 through 13, 14 with the Denver Nuggets again. 13, 14 through 15 or 14, 15. Washington Wizards. Traded to the Sacramento Kings. He would finish that season, and the following season, 15-16, go to the Minnesota Timberwolves, where he was waived and then picked up by the San Antonio Spurs.
We're going to check in, Eric.
All right, Horseface Milestone checked in. Only Gorillas in the Nation you guys can discuss.
Okay, I think we're getting there. It's a lot of. I feel like there's got to be like 150 players in the league that have played for some combination of Cleveland, the Clippers, Denver, and the Sixers. Like
Dude, that's funny because I thought the same thing, but I thought, man, Nuggets and Wizards and Kings, for some reason, like all those guys that bounce around always play for those 3 franchises.
Yeah, this is like the poo-poo platter of mid-tier franchises. The first thought that jumped into my head was Marcus Camby, but there would be Raptors on there, so that's out. And then Alex, you brought up just that's a long career, so somebody that played forever.
Mhm.
And if this guy was on the 12-13 Nuggets, then the Warriors beat them in the playoffs. And that's what got me to, I think this is Andre Miller.
Yeah, and I think the
And-
timing fits with when he was in college at Utah.
Yeah, he was at
So,
Utah
yeah.
in, like 98, somewhere around
Yeah.
there. So I think that's what we got. So we're going to check in with Andre Miller.
All right, and Horseface Milestone, what was your answer?
You pulled this, Matt.
Scott was all we had on this one, but I said I was throwing out a name. For some reason, these teams sparked the name Baron Davis to me, but that's when I don't know if you guys heard in the chat, I said Baron Davis did not play to 2016. I don't think he did. I think he
There would have
out
been a
before,
Hornets on there.
2009. But that,
And a Warriors.
yeah,
And
the
the Knicks.
Warriors is where I see him with too. Yeah, but anyway, all these other teams, I just was. So then I thought back because like that 97 to 2003 or so was when I was actually paying attention. And then I do remember the Timberwolves there in like the mid 2000s. So I also sent over to Scott. I was going to say Aaron Miller. For some reason, I typed in Aaron Miller and was about to send it. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, his name is Andre Miller. So we checked in with that for 5,000 points.
Both teams getting their points. Yes, it is Andre Miller. Anytime I think of him, I just remember him on the glass at an Avs game, losing his mind when they would score, because he went to quite a bit of Avalanche games. All right, let's move on to the final question here. Question number 4 is the shortest one. 1996, the Atlanta Braves. 1997 through 2001, the Kansas City Royals. Traded to the Oakland A's, where he would stay until 2004. And then 2005 through 2009, the Chicago White Sox.
Checked in.
All right, Horseface Milestones checked in. Only Gorillas in the Nation. You guys can talk it out.
Well, we have to read the question and can start considering it first. Scott checked in before the question was done.
I tried to be respectful and let him say the last team because it's his team. Didn't want to interrupt him.
That was the minimum amount of respect. Early 2000s A's. This shouldn't be
When I think
too-
of Braves to Royals, I think of Jeff Francoeur, but I think that's too early, and I don't think those teams fit.
Yeah, it's too. Oh, you know who this is? Royals to A's to White Sox. This has to be Jermaine Dye.
Hmm.
I think that's the.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a Brave. I just thought he was a Royal.
I didn't know
Sorry,
either,
but-
frankly, but the Royals to A's to White Sox, that's got to be it. And he was definitely on those early 2000s A's teams. Good player. I like Jermaine Dye.
I did too until he left, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was the Royals farm team back then. So
Yeah, I think that's it. Check it in.
All right, and over to Horseface Milestone.
Very underrated player. Jermaine Dye, the key to the White Sox winning the World Series in '05. He wasn't there, and then he gets there, and all of a sudden this curse, if you will. I do remember him in '96. He had a brief cup of coffee. He was a top prospect in the Brave system. They brought him up, and then they traded him. I could not tell you who they got in return. We also checked in with Jermaine Dye.
All right, both teams getting their points. Yes, the correct answer is World Series MVP Jermaine Dye. He was traded to the Royals with pitcher Jamie Walker.
Was Michael Tucker in that deal?
For outfielder Michael Tucker and infielder Keith Lockhart.
Oh, actually, that's actually a good trade for the Braves though, because Tucker and Lockhart started for them, like in those World Series years in the late '90s. So that's actually not too bad.
All right, well, that's the end of the second quarter. Let me add up these points here. So after the second quarter, we have a score. Horseface Milestone 200, and still in the lead. Only Gorillas in the nation with 200. Well, that brings us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions pertaining to sports, with each question worth 25 points.
When we first started this podcast, all our halftime questions had to be related to sports in some way. So I figured let's go back to that and completely ignore that thought again and just do a fun halftime. So I'm just going to give you a quote from a movie. I'm going to tell you the year of the movie and then read a quote from the movie. You just tell me the movie. Easy enough? Not sports.
Sounds good.
Like it.
All right. Question number 1. The movie is from 2023. And here's the quote. Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to marry a princess and rule the world. But there's one problem. There's a human traveling with my fiance. He has a mustache, just like you. Do you know him?
Okay, we're going to check in.
All right. Horseface Milestone is checked in. That means the only gorillas in the nation. You guys can talk it out.
This is a good quote, Eric. This is a nice choice. There's a lot to parse out here because I have no idea. I don't know this quote at all. But in parsing it out, that means there's 2 guys with mustaches and a princess. Like that.
Sounds like a TV show from the '90s.
Those 2 guys with mustaches, a princess, and a pizza place.
Yes.
So 2 guys with mustaches and a princess. I was like, is this the Mario movie? That's kind of my only thought on this, Alex.
Yeah, when I heard Princess, I first thought it was Disney, but yeah, it makes total sense. I don't really watch new movies, not even kids' movies. We deprive our children of good things like that. So
you know what?
I really had no clue.
As an elementary educator, that's probably good. They shouldn't watch movies because movies are bad. They should just do math and read literature only. Okay, so I think we're checking in. I think it's just called. Is it called the Super Mario movie or the Super Mario Brothers movie or the Mario Brothers movie?
I really don't
movies
know.
at the end of it. That's about all I remember.
Movies.
We'll pull a Matt Doherty and check in all of those answers.
All right. And over to Horseface Milestone.
We'll talk. We're gonna have to do the same thing. I'm just gonna say something about the Super Mario Brothers movie. Sure, I think I saw it with my son.
All right. Yes. Both teams, I will give points. It is the Super Mario Brothers movie or Bros movie. And that quote, you guys talk about not letting your kids watch movies. My son, Oliver, 7 years old, will legit spit that quote out about 10 times a day. He's 7 now. So was he born? He was around before we started doing this.
Well, according to Scott, we've been doing this for like 13 years. So
I mean, it feels
we're
like
gonna have this argument again.
no, we're not having an argument. I was wrong.
You were, because I was listening to that, and yeah, it was you were wrong. Anyway, all right, let's move on to question number 2. The movie is from 1995, and here's the quote: "The point is, how do you know the fairy isn't a crazy glue sniffer? Build model airplane," says the little fairy. "Well, I'm not buying it. He sneaks into your house once. That's all it takes. Next thing you know, there's money missing off the dresser. Your daughter's knocked up. I've seen it 100 times."
All right, we can check in.
Only gorillas in the nation have checked in. Horseface Milestone. Talk it out.
Okay. So the first thing I was thinking of I thought this was Jay from Jay and Silent Bob going on a rant. But now that I'm thinking about it.
Sounds like one of his rants.
Yeah. Hold on.
I say that as if I've seen all their movies. I've seen Zack and Miri.
Isn't this the rant that Tommy goes on in Tommy Boy when he's talking about the brake pads and like I can look up about a cow's something, but I'll trust the butcher or something like that. It's just
That
a
is
little fairy while buying it sneaks into the house. When is this from? I'm trying to remember the
that is
context,
95.
but
Tommy Boy is
it sounds like
95.
a Tommy Boy thing here. So
That is
the next
95. So
thing
that
you
would controversial quote here. Thought here. I actually prefer Black Sheep. I know I'm in the minority there, but
is this
I
the
kind of like that.
is the rant that he says to Dan Aykroyd, I think, in the at the end near the end of the movie, I believe. I can't
I haven't,
remember.
unlike the last line of the quote, I haven't seen it 100 times, and it's been a long time, so I'm not going to
It's
remember
yeah,
where it is in the movie.
it's
But
itching the Tommy Boy part of my brain, so I'm pretty sure that's where
do
it
it.
is. I just can't remember where in the movie it's from. But
You've been on a roll, so
Tommy Boy.
All right, and over to Only Gorillas in the Nation.
Yeah, you guys had a better memory of when it took place, but like I immediately thought of Chris Farley delivering this, and I thought, well, that's got to be Tommy Boy then, because I could hear him saying it in my mind. I've seen this movie a bunch, but I couldn't see it. So, but Matt agreed, and we both checked in with Tommy Boy.
All right. Well, both teams are getting their points here. Yes, it is Tommy Boy and Matt. It's not at the end. This is actually right before he makes his first sale. He goes
Okay.
in a little rant, and he goes in this rant, and then the guy just looks at him. He's like, "What?" And then he goes into an actual better sales pitch.
Okay, cool. I knew it was one of those ones. I'm thinking it wasn't the one where you set the model car on fire.
No, that he does not make that sale. He's immediately told to get out, and then he pops back over. Do you validate?
It doesn't hurt here or here, right here.
Nope, nothing. Ship shape. The lady comes over. Oh God, what happened to your face? See, I knew it. I will say this: back in the day when soundtracks were actually like a real thing, Tommy Boy soundtrack underrated. It's really, really good.
Huh.
All right, so question 3, I don't expect anybody to get, so don't waste too much time on this, please.
Cool. That's awesome.
Fun.
Just know your host. I don't know if that'll help you. Anyway,
Weird Al Yankovic.
the
What
Penn
movie was
State
he in?
movie? Penn State,
all right,
Circuit
here we go.
City, Eric Molds. Okay,
The movie is from 1989. Here's the quote. It's a little long, so bear with me. This is my new mop. George, my friend, he gave me this mop. It's a pretty good mop. It's not as good as my first mop. I miss my first mop. This is still a good mop. Sometimes you have to take what life gives you, and because like life's like a mop. Sometimes you have to get down, get the dirt out, the crud, the bugs, the hairball stuff. You got to clean it out. You gotta put it in here. You gotta rinse it. You gotta start all over again. And sometimes life sucks, and the floor is so bad. You know, mop's not good enough. It's not good enough. You gotta get down there with a toothbrush, and you really gotta scrub it, get it off. You really gotta try to get it off. But if that doesn't work, you can't give up. You gotta stand up. You gotta run to the window and say, "Hey, these floors are dirty as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore."
Eric will check in.
Only Gorillas Nation have checked in. Horseface Milestone, talk it out.
So I'm an idiot for saying right off the bat that this has to be a Weird Al Yankovic movie because it is. This is Michael Richards' rant from UHF. Check it in.
All right, and back to Only Gorillas in the Nation.
Yeah, 1989 feels right. And if we're knowing our host, then it's got to be UHF.
Yes, both teams getting their points. It's probably the greatest movie of the 80s.
You may think I'm going to disagree with you, Eric, but I quote UHF probably about 5 or 6 times a week.
Really?
If it's not Badgers, we know you stinking Badgers, or you know what? If you need a spatula, you can go to Spatula City, where they have all your spatula needs. And if you don't know those references, go watch that movie because it is brilliant. It is an awesome, hilarious movie.
I'm not saying this just as a Weird Al fan, but yes, that movie, and it even holds up like 30 plus years later, because I have on my badge at work, I got it from Josh Bomback. It is a Weird Al pin, and it's the Wheel of Fish.
Wheel of Fish.
And it's, so good. Well, after halftime, we have a score. Horseface Milestone, 275, but clinging to that lead, the only Gorillas in the Nation, just also a 275. That brings us to the third quarter. Today's third quarter will be the missing link.
The Missing Link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. If a team checks in first via chat to the host with the correct theme before the 5th question, they will earn 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with the correct theme guess. If neither team has checked in with the correct theme before the 5th question, each team can earn 50 points with the correct answer to the theme after the 5th question.
I was listening to some podcast the other day. They were talking about Doritos scoops or Tostitos scoops or whatever, and somebody made the connection between Cheryl swoops and scoops, and I'm like, you guys are like 4 years too late on that crap. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't we have that copywritten?
Yeah,
We've been doing
kinda
that
right.
since
Matt,
you're knee high to a grasshopper. So
You
shut
need to
up.
send them a cease and
A
desist.
cease and desist. Yeah.
You know what? No,
They owe us.
to
They
be-
owe us like $25 or something.
To be fair,
To be fair,
if they're saying that it is Cheryl Scoops, I'm saying it's her sister. So it's different person, different.
that's her married name. Scoops is her married name.
Her married name.
Cheryl Scoop Swoops.
Wait, so her sister's
hyphen?
name's Cheryl. So there's two
Yeah.
Cheryls. Cheryl Swoops. Cheryl
But they have
Swoops,
different. But they have
and
different
Cheryl
last
Swoops,
names.
The other one got married, and it's Cheryl Scoops.
Yes.
Okay, I
They're
mean,
using
twins.
the
Total
Asian
sense.
naming convention where the family name comes first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Cheryl's actually the family name.
nailed it. Nailed
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So
Her name
they're
is
twins.
Scoops Cheryl. Actually.
Yeah, her name is Scoops Cheryl. Actually, yeah.
If they were from Iceland, it would be like it would be Cheryl's daughter or something
Yes,
like that.
Scoops Cheryl's daughter.
Yeah. There you go.
Wolf.
Scoops. Cheryl's daughter.
Here are my twin daughters, Scoops and Swoops.
and Gunner Stone.
Can the episode title be
Stop.
Scoops Cheryl's daughter?
All right. So question number 1 of the 3rd quarter missing link. Former coach of the Arizona Coyotes, missing the playoffs in all 4 years. He may be better known for all the records he set as a player, one of which has been broke or may have been broken by the time this episode is released.
We'll check in.
All right. Only Gorillas in the Nation checked in. Horseface Milestone. Talk.
So Wayne Gretzky,
Yes, I would assume, which may have
because
been
the
broken by the
record that's
time.
coming up is Ovi beating Gretzky's goals record.
Did he
and
coach
he-
the Arizona Coyotes?
I mean, I know that. I thought he owned them for a while, and I thought he coached them also. So,
Oh, one of those situations, huh?
yep.
I'm going to defer to you on all things hockey. So
The problem is that if it is Wayne Gretzky, it really ruins our theme idea. So
I know.
we are checking in with the great one, Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, all right. We had a question. And over to Only Gorillas in the Nation.
Yeah, we also checked in with Wayne Gretzky.
All right. Both
Evidently,
teams
he's
getting
going
their
to be
points.
the governor of the 51st state. No,
Puerto Rico?
Greenland?
isn't that the whole joke? I thought that was
Long Island?
Sure. Long Island.
All right. Yeah, both
Love
teams
your
getting the
ST.
points. It is Wayne Gretzky. Let's just go through the theme linked answers so far. We have Wayne Gretzky. On to question 2. This player retired as the all-time leader in home runs by a designated hitter. That was later broken by David Ortiz.
We'll check in.
All right. Only Gorillas in the Nation checked in. Horseface Milestone. You got about 25 seconds.
We're pretty sure this is Edgar Martinez. We thought about Jim
know.
Thome, but he spent like a solid 7 years in Philly, right?
I don't think it was that many, but it was probably
5
four,
at least, right?
4 or 5, I think. Yeah.
He started off his career playing first base mostly, right?
Who? Thome?
Thome.
Yeah.
So
he
I'm
moved over.
going
Oh, yeah.
to say he probably
Edgar's
only
cool.
had about 7 or 8 years where he was actually DHing when he played with every other AL Central team. All right.
All that to say, we're checking in Edgar Martinez.
All right. And over to Only Gorillas in the Nation.
Yeah, same. We couldn't think of anyone else that might fit, so we also checked in with Edgar Martinez.
All right. Well, for the first time today, we have a missed question. Neither team getting their points. So this player is the first player in Major League history to win 2 Silver Slugger awards at 2 different positions, 1993 and 94 at first base, and then also 91 and in 2000 as a designated hitter. The answer I'm looking for is Frank Thomas.
It's in our chat.
Oh,
I sent it to
so
Matt.
Wow.
was ours.
I thought he was mostly a first baseman.
I thought he was until Konerko got there. but maybe he DH'd even before then, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mix. Like they'd have other guys in from time to time, and he would just. So theme linked answers so far. I have Wayne Gretzky and Frank Thomas. Moving on to question number 3. This wide receiver played his entire career for one franchise, owns or shares 9 different NFL records, including most 100-yard receiving games in a single season with 11, most consecutive games with 10 receptions at 4, most consecutive 100-yard receiving games with 8, and most notably, he performed on season 23 of Dancing with the Stars.
I think we'll check in.
All right, only Gorillas in the Nation checked in. Horse face milestone, you guys can talk it out.
All right, Matt, how many seasons
Okay.
of Dancing with the Stars are there now?
It seems to be that a former NFL player has won
I know.
a whole bunch of times, right?
And they have one on like every season, it seems like.
Yeah.
I,
Or at least
initially I
some
was like,
sort of famous athlete or something.
I was thinking this was Heinz Ward, but he won like one of the first seasons of Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Like one of the first 5, I think. So this is
so I know that
way after that.
Donald Driver was on there, but he was on like
Right.
season 5. I think didn't Emmett win?
Yeah, I don't know if they all finished like in the top 3. I don't know if they all won, but
Yeah.
this is going to be a little bit after.
23. So when I think of all these NFL records, right? When I think of 100-yard receiving games,
this seems like it's more modern.
yeah.
Most consecutive games with 10 receptions. That's crazy.
That makes me think of Calvin Johnson.
Oh,
For the most
yes.
consecutive 100.
I think he was on Dancing with the Stars. That makes sense. And he would have.
I mean, he would have 9 different NFL records. That guy's a freak.
Yeah. And season 23 would make sense because it would be further back.
I didn't know he was on Dancing with the Stars. So
they're all on Dancing with the Stars, right? At some point, like, yeah, that's a great answer. I say we do that.
Okay.
We're gonna check in with Calvin Johnson.
All right, and over to only Gorillas in the Nation.
Yeah, we had the same thought. This might be Calvin Johnson. We weren't sure he was on Dancing with the Stars or not. Now the more I think about this question, I actually think that the nugget about 11 consecutive 100-yard receiving games might have just been asked in episode 299, although I'm the only person on this episode that was also on that one. So that would have given me a leg up. But we also checked in with Calvin Johnson.
All right. Yes, both teams getting the points here. Correct answer is Calvin Johnson. I don't know his outcome on season 23 of Dancing with the Stars. So if anybody knows, please don't spoil it.
I'm going to look it up right now because
I'm only on season 3. Right, question number 4. This player pitched his first no-hitter in June of 1990. This was also his team's first ever no-hitter. He has won a pitching triple crown, pitched an immaculate inning, and has defeated every team at least once. I don't know if he has any interest in ornithology. Maybe Avicide.
We're checked in.
Horseface Milestone's checked in. Only Gorillas in the Nation. You guys can talk it out.
This has to be Randy Johnson.
Yeah. With the killing a bird, I'm assuming June 1990 would have been the Expos' first no-hitter. Is that correct? See in Montreal in 1990? I don't remember. But anyway,
it could have been the Mariners too. But
yeah,
was he? I don't remember when he went to Seattle. That's my earliest memory because I was pretty little then. But
right.
Yeah.
I like it though. Let's check in with Randy Johnson.
And over to Horseface Milestone.
I mean, yeah, this just made a lot of sense, everything that he said. We also checked in with Randy Johnson.
All right, both teams getting their points. Yes, it is Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson was with the Expos from 88 to 89, I believe, and joined the Mariners in 89 through 98. So, yes, he's the first his first no-hitter is the Mariners' first no-hitter. All right, theme linked answers so far. Wayne Gretzky, Frank Thomas, Calvin Johnson, and Randy Johnson. Question number 5. This saccharine running back holds the record for most touchdown passes by a non-quarterback, passing for 8 touchdowns in his 13-year career.
Hey, Eric, we're going to check in.
Horseface Milestone checked in. Only Gorillas in the Nation talk it out.
I don't see how saccharine running back can be in this question, and it's anything but Walter Payton. Doesn't make me feel good about what we submitted as our link, though. Screw it. We'll check in Walter Payton and figure out the rest later.
All right. And Horseface Milestone, what was your answer?
Yeah, as soon as Scott said, "What does saccharin mean?" I was like, "That's sugar. So is this sweetness? Is this Walter Payton?" So we checked in with Walter Payton.
Both teams getting their points. Yes, the correct answer is Walter Payton. I don't have much to say other than that. Everybody knows who he is. Man of the Year award, all that fun stuff. And threw for, I think the most he threw in one season was 3 touchdown passes.
Man, those Bears quarterbacks, right?
Really?
Yeah. So to answer the question that everybody's asking, would rather have him over Dak Prescott, even in his
But,
current condition.
He's 6 feet under, so he's been dead for 27 years.
Team linked answers: Wayne Gretzky, Frank Thomas, Calvin Johnson, Randy Johnson, and Walter Payton. No correct theme link answers at this point. I will give you guys a couple minutes to figure it out, and I will give one hint because this is a tougher one, and it would have been very hard to get it early. You kind of need all of the answers to figure it out.
We're checked in with a theme, so these guys can talk.
Horseface Milestones checked in with their themes. I'll give only gorillas in the nation a few minutes to talk it out.
Okay. When Eric said add them all up, I think that might have been it. So Wayne Gretzky's number 99, Frank Thomas's number 35, Randy Johnson's 51, Calvin Johnson's 81, and Walter Payton's, 24?
No,
whatever,
he was
whatever it is.
34.
34. Yeah. So does that add up to 300? Because it's episode 300.
You said 99, 35.
51.
That's 150.
185 plus 81 is 266 plus 34 is 300. Jeez, math. I hate it. Yeah, there's our theme. I think the jersey numbers add up to 300.
All right. And Horseface Milestone, what was your theme?
Terrific theme. Yeah, once I picked up on the same clue that Tako did. As soon as you said add them up, I said to Matt, their jerseys numbers add up to 300, but we decided not to try. We just assumed that would be it. And so that's also what we checked in with.
Yes, both teams getting their points in the theme. I figured, easy theme to come up with for this episode is our 300th episode. And let's just there was easy enough to find 5 guys to add up to 300, and they were all pretty notable. So, all right. All Hall of Famers, right? Was that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Calvin Johnson would be the most recent. So, all right. Well, after the third quarter, this lead just keeps getting bigger. Horseface Milestone. You guys have 405, and the only gorillas in the nation just keep pulling, just adds more and more to their lead with 405. That brings us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
The categories for today are as follows. Question 1, no prisoners, no mercy. That will be the NFL. Question 2, immortals. We put their name to the test. That will be in wrestling. Question 3, this is madness. That will be in NCAA basketball. And question 4, this is Sparta, which will be also NCAA basketball. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question number 1 in the fourth quarter. In the Super Bowl era, there are 2 teams tied for the biggest blowout. One, in 1976, the Rams defeated the Falcons 59-0, and the second, in 2009, the Patriots defeated the Titans 59-0. Name the 4 quarterbacks to play in the 2009 game Or name any of the quarterbacks to have, or any of the players to have a pass attempt in the 1976 game. Small hint,
Ooh.
there is 5 players to make a pass attempt in that 1976 game.
And we just have to name one of them.
You have to pick out one of them.
We can check in.
All right. Only Gorillas in the Nation checked in. Horseface Milestone, talk it out.
Okay, so that Secret Base or SB Nation had a long, like, Dorktown or whatever that series is about the Falcons. And they
Okay.
talked a lot about their, 70s and 80s, like, woes and how terrible they were.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were a team then.
They spent a lot of draft capital on quarterbacks that were dog crap. I remember there was a dude somewhere in there, like, and I have no idea when it was, but I think his name was Hunter. And then there was another dude who had like a nickname, like McAllister or
Okay.
MacArthur or something like that, but I can't remember what it
Okay.
was.
And
I don't know
is
the
Bur-
Hunter. I don't know the Hunter's first name. I don't know if he was there 76. I
right.
don't
You
know
don't
if
know
he
if he threw a
played in that
pass.
game. I don't know if he threw a pass in that game.
Do we think that Burt Jones was on the Rams then?
Burt Jones. Yeah, I mean, your guess is as good
I
as
think
mine on
that's
that
our
one.
best
I
bet
was
for
focusing on
getting
the
it
Falcons with that one.
because I know he won an MVP in the late 70s with the Rams. So
And they went to
time
the
frame
Super Bowl in
wise,
79, right?
I think that's probably around when he won the MVP, I would imagine.
Yeah. I don't know if he was with the Rams in 76, but
I don't either, but he was pretty prolific before the injury. And I think that's our best bet because trying to pull 4 is crazy over trying to just pull 1, even if it is more recent. So I think we go Burt Jones
Burt Jones it is for
because
100 points.
yeah, the other ones, like I think Kerry Collins might be an answer again because we know from CV he was on the Titans during that time frame, but who knows? So we're checking in 100 points with Burt Jones.
All right. And over to Only Gorillas in the Nation.
Yeah, we went the other way because we decided we didn't want to think about the 1976 Rams or Falcons at all. So we tried to piece together the 4 from 2009. We kind of tag teamed it. Alex grabbed the Patriots and I grabbed the Titans. '09 Titans was a Vince Young joint. And then, yeah, thinking back to CV, Kerry Collins was a Titan in 2009. So those became our 2. And then, Alex, you want to give the Patriots?
Yeah. Matt Castle was thrown out, but I knew that Brady's knee was blown out by Bernard Pollard Chief in 2008, the year after the nearly undefeated season, and that Castle was a Chief the next year. So we knew it couldn't be Castle. And of course, Tom Brady, duh. But the backup, I knew there was a Brian something that was a backup forever, and we both got to Brian Hoyer about the same time. So Brady and Hoyer for the Patriots.
All right.
Or
One
100
team.
points.
One team is getting their points. Yeah, it's Kerry Collins, Vince Young, Tom Brady, and Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, we had all the names.
The other 5, one of the right names came up. You just chose not to use it. We have Pat Hayden, James Harris, Kim McQuilkin,
That's the name of it.
Ron Jaworski,
Yep, Ron Jaworski.
and
Yes.
Scott Hunter.
Scott Hunter.
Nope.
So yes, that's it was interesting to see both of those games have so many people make a pass attempt and both just giant blowouts.
What was it again? McQuilster?
McQuilkin.
That's not even a real name. That's
McQuilken.
Isn't
Do
there
they
a
call him-
boat named after him?
and they call him the McQuilkin Quicker Picker Upper.
There you go.
Oh,
What's
boy.
his first name, Eric?
Kimberly.
Kim.
What? Oh, sorry. What's her first name, Eric?
Question number 2. Category Immortals will put their name to the test. Prior to pursuing a career in wrestling, Hulk Hogan's first love was what sport? He was a standout prior to an arm injury during his senior year of high school that ended his career.
We'll check in.
All right. Only Gorillas in the Nation checked in. Horseface Milestone, please just give me an answer. Pick a sport.
I mean, most of these guys back then played baseball and football, like one of those two, unless you're Kevin Nash. But is it that simple?
Yeah, I mean,
Seems obvious.
Saying that
Just
he has an arm injury doesn't give
right.
us any hint. I
Well,
mean, come
well,
on.
but it's like he could have been a quarterback or a pitcher, right?
He could
And
be
an
a
arm
ping
injury
pong
will.
player. I don't know.
That's
Where you
true.
get an arm injury?
With the yellow tights, yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that too.
that's what I'm
Playing
saying.
ping pong, but like, is this the hidden hockey question?
I mean, he
If,
was from Florida, so I'm gonna
yeah, I
guess
know. I was gonna
no.
say if you said Bret Hart, yeah, that
Yeah, I
maybe.
mean, any of the Canadian wrestlers probably. Yeah.
What about volleyball?
Was
He's
he
a beach
like
guy.
he was the original Kurt Karai? He was like a big time.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like
Maybe.
the volleyball boom, that mid-70s volleyball boom.
Oh, isn't his name? What's his last name?
Terry Bollea.
Bollea.
Maybe he
So
played
is he
volleyball as well.
Italian? Was he a bocce ball player? Is a budding bot? He's a darts guy. There you go. And he hurt his arm. Oh, a
He would be a good
vicious darts
Bullseye
arm
brother.
injury.
That was actually his
Oh,
first ring name was
tell you
Bullseye
what,
before
man.
he switched it
Bullseye
to Hulk.
Bollea.
Bullseye Bollea. I don't know, Matt. Pick a
He was a
sport.
killer at 501. Man, I tell you. Whew. Don't even try with cricket.
I mean, it's Hulk Hogan, so we know top blackjack.
Snooker, maybe.
Yeah, I
Dude,
don't know.
I
Pick
have
a sport.
zero. I mean, the reason you wagered 100 on this one was 100%
I
you.
thought it was
So
going to be a wrestling question.
it's
It
not
is.
a wrestling question.
No, this is not a wrestling
It's
question.
about a
This is
person who used to be a wrestler or still is. I don't
This
know.
is a hidden something question. We just don't know what that something is yet because
It's
we
a
need to
hidden
give him the
snooker
sport.
question. We all know it.
I'm between probably baseball or volleyball.
Volleyball is so unlikely.
I
Golf. It
just
could be
feel like it'd
golf.
be so weird. No, I don't think he's
Florida.
golf. Let's say baseball.
Sure.
All those guys played baseball back then. We're gonna check in with baseball.
How many points?
100.
And only gorillas in the nation.
I mean, Matt, you mentioned snooker, but like snooker sounds like a word that Hulk Hogan would use. So we also checked in with baseball. Randy Savage is kind of the famous almost baseball player turned wrestler. So I took a minute to think about would Hogan also be baseball, but yeah, we checked in with racism. I mean, with baseball for 100 points.
That's a sport.
Wow.
It is for
to
some
Hogan,
people,
it is.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Both teams getting their points. Yes, the correct answer
Whoa.
is baseball. I didn't want anybody to overthink it, but Scott did his best.
Yes, I did. It is fun to imagine Hulk Hogan in the yellow tights playing a bunch of random sports.
Hulk Hogan and banana ball. Boy.
Question number 3 of the fourth quarter category. This is madness. Are all 4 number 1 seeds advanced into the Final Four only one time in the history of the NCAA men's basketball tournament happening in 2008? Name all 4 of those teams.
We'll check in.
All right. Only Gorillas in the Nation checked in. Horseface milestone, talk it up.
So I think we're on the right track with 06, 07 are the Florida years.
Yeah.
Definitely because 06 is the George Mason Cinderella run, and then 07 is when they beat Ohio State with Greg Oden. So 08, I think, is Kansas. I think that's when like Mariel Chalmers hit that big clutch 3-pointer, and that's against Memphis in the championship game.
Yeah. So
Right?
I said,
Memphis had Derrick Rose, Joey Dorsey.
yep. So we both said Kansas and Memphis in the championship game.
And you remember UNC being like against Kansas, right?
I remember Kansas beating UNC to get to the championship game.
Okay, and that's probably like Tyler Hansbrough, UNC, right? Yeah, that makes sense. He was there for 15 years, so yeah, any 2000s UNC year could be Tyler Hansbrough. I feel good about those. And then I mentioned UCLA only because I'm thinking about it from the draft angle, and that's Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook era, Aaron Aflalo, Luke Richard Mbamute. Like UCLA was stacked. So did they lose to Memphis in the Final Four? That's the team we need, right? The team that Memphis beat.
Yeah, whoever lost on that Saturday semi game to Memphis.
If it's not UCLA, trying to think of who else was really good around that time. You want to just go UCLA?
I mean, that sounds right. I think they lost to Memphis.
Let's do it then. Check them in. You
Okay,
gotta check them in.
okay, we're gonna check in with Kansas, Memphis, USC, UCLA.
Nope.
No,
UNC.
I'm sorry, UNC, not USC. Sorry, UNC.
Not OJ Mayo's Trojans.
Kansas,
They did not go to the
Memphis,
Final Four.
UNC, UCLA for
20 points.
107,000 points.
All right. And over to only Gorillas in the Nation.
We had the same four. Yeah, '08 was the Mario Chalmers over Derrick Rose game. Yeah, I think that seems right for the Hansbrough UNC teams. And then yeah, I was pretty sure this was Ben Howland era UCLA. I think they lost to Florida in the Final Four one of those previous years too.
Yes.
And '08, I think was Kevin Love's freshman year, if I'm remembering correctly, and Westbrook was still there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we checked in the same four of Kansas, Memphis, North Carolina, and UCLA for 100 points.
All right, both teams getting their points. Yes, that is the correct four. Yeah, you guys kind of touched on everything on that. So I'm not going to continue to talk about that. So we'll just move right on to question number 4. And this should be hopefully a nice, easy one for you guys. Category, this is Sparta. 2 teams in the 2025 NCAA men's basketball tournament use the nickname Spartans. Name both.
Protected.
All right, Horseface Milestones checked in. Only gorillas in the nation. Talk it out.
Oh boy. Well, this feels like a David and Goliath. Michigan State for sure.
Oh, that's the one we don't have. Damn.
Now it's just a matter of remembering what other like random teams. So yeah, Alex, you brought up San Jose State, but they weren't in it.
Right.
Um,
I can think of teams that are in it, like, High Points, the teams that I wouldn't know the nickname of very
right.
well. St. Francis, Pennsylvania.
Norfolk State. Who else were those like 15s, 16s? Lipscomb.
Yeah, I don't know what Lipscomb is. It could be them. Yeah, a lot of times they're alliterative, but
Yeah.
McNeese are the
Norfolk. No,
Cowboys.
Venice is the Cowboys. I don't know what Norfolk State is.
I don't either.
I thought the Tides, but that's their minor league baseball team.
And then it's sad that we know that.
I mean, that's all Road to the Show.
Yes,
That's the only
100%.
reason I know any of those minor league teams is Road to
Yep.
the Show. I'm pretty sure I played for the Tides at some point.
I know Akron is the Zips.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of my favorite nickname trivia questions about kangaroos. So my other school is UMKC. It's not Grand Canyon.
No. You said High Point.
I just
Also, I
don't
don't know
know.
High Point.
I don't know Omaha.
American being the Spartans would be funny. You're right. It's not Liberty. They're the Flames.
That's right.
Uh,
I can picture the logo for UC San Diego being like a Triton.
they're the oh yeah, they are I think they are the Tritons. I think that's what they are. Wofford's like a bulldog. Bradley's like a bulldog. Everybody's a bulldog. Yeah, I don't know. Are there any of those teams we mentioned that are speaking to you? Because it's just guess a team that we don't know the mascot of.
I don't, St. Francis, PA would be a Catholic school, and it wouldn't really make a lot of sense for them to be the Spartans.
Mm-hmm. High Point, I feel like, is also like some sort of religious private university.
Is it?
I think so.
I mean, that would leave Lipscomb of the ones we've thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
And SIU Edwardsville. I don't think they're the Spartans, though.
No.
I'm not sure what they are. Is that Alabama State? But I don't think they're Spartans either.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Okay. Well. So Lipscomb, does that mean we're on to Lipscomb?
I think it might be we're down to our guess who board is eliminated everything but Lipscomb. So we'll check in Michigan State and Lipscomb for 100 points.
All right, and over to Horseface Milestone.
Well, I was hoping that we'd have some sort of different answer to create some drama because we wagered 300 points in the spirit of the 300th episode. We felt like that should be allowed, but it doesn't matter because we also checked in with Lipscomb, but I don't think it's right because my teammate here looked it up and it's not right. So,
Oh, good.
So you don't think it's right because it's not right?
I mean, I don't know what his sources are, but
Google.
you might have asked Megan. I don't know.
Yeah,
All right.
I asked my significant other.
Well, neither team getting their points. Well, half of it is everyone knows Michigan State. And Tako, you said they're You said them. I mean, you said all the other teams in there that you were unsure.
Named every team in the tournament.
Pretty much.
You had it down to Lipscomb and this other one that you just chose not to mention again. But the correct answer is Michigan State and Norfolk State.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't bring them back up, did we?
No.
They don't seem like
States
they'd be
galore.
Spartans.
No.
All right. Well, this game has come to an end, and here are the finals. Wait, hold on. What? I don't know. We retired that years ago, so I don't think we can do that, Dan. No? I don't. It'll piss Joss off.
What is that?
All right, so just for fun, let's do a quick impromptu Dean's list before we end this.
Yes.
So this is not a serious Dean's list. We can do it for points or not. I don't care. But this
for
Dean's
points.
list is I need the top 10 sports figures, athletes, or teams that I hate. Me being the host. So we just had the recent missing link. So if you heard that, you already know. So there's a few of them, but now there's some extra ones because we have 10.
Can we work on this together?
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah,
let's go. Everybody together. Here we go.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott
So
comes in at number 3.
So it's
this
teams
is
or players, you said.
Teams or players?
Yes.
All
So
time.
sports
The Philadelphia
figures.
Eagles.
Eagles are not on the list,
No,
Matt.
no,
What?
Matt. What are you doing? Don't go rogue.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Don't go rogue.
Who's that team he hates that plays the Avs all the time?
I don't know them as well as you guys do, but my memory serves the Buffalo
Dallas
Bills
Stars.
are
Oh,
not.
the Bills are. We know the Bills are on
All right.
there for sure.
What
the
are we going
Buffalo
with next?
Bills, yeah.
Buffalo
and
Bills.
The Buffalo
Coming in at number 5, we have the Buffalo Bills.
and the
Okay.
Buffalo Sabres also. is on the
Coming
list.
in at number 6, we have the Buffalo Sabres.
All right. Do we think that the other Stars on here? Doesn't he hate the Stars?
No. I think if there's
Red Wings were
if
the old
there's an
Red Wings.
Avs team he hates, if there's another team that's might be the Canucks, I'm not sure, but I'm not
All right.
sure.
Let's get out of there.
So the Giants?
Like
The
If you don't
Giants
like-
did not make the
No.
list, Matt.
No, he doesn't. He never talks about the Giants.
Yeah, but he just in the beginning of this game he said that he would be happy if that tight end went to any team except for Philadelphia. So that's why I thought
I don't think he
Well,
meant
yeah,
it.
because
just-
I think just because they're the defending Super Bowl champs in his division.
And they already have a Penn State player that makes me.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, let's see. Does he hate a baseball team? He doesn't really.
Here's your hint here. I'll give you. I have 2 teams left.
Oh, and then players.
One player left.
Okay. Oh, figures.
And-
Okay, yeah. Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jerry Jones coming in at number 1. We have
There
Jerry
we go.
Jones.
How does he feel about Bill Parcells? Okay, sorry.
You're looking for number 2, number 4.
Does he dislike any of the people from Orlando Magic, right? Because he kind of fell off being a Magic fan.
Yeah,
There's
I don't know.
only
if it's enough to
one
make this
player
list.
left on this list, and it's
Would
at
there be some
number
Cowboys
2.
coaches on there, like a Mike
Oh.
McCarthy or a Jason
There's
Garrett?
one player left,
Phillips.
and it's at number 2.
Oh boy, who does he hate worse than Dak? Because
Oh,
Dak was
yeah.
3. That's
I didn't think there was any player that he hated.
That's a
worse.
yeah.
Oh.
I didn't think so.
I have to go back and
It's
this
got
is
to be
5 years.
It's got to be a
of-
hockey player.
No, listen, you guys are not.
This is 5 years of information.
This is very
Jeez.
obvious.
Come on, very obvious, huh?
Tied for number 2 is every women's athlete.
Cheryl Swoops.
No, come on.
Ooh.
It's related to one of the teams that was already guessed. Anybody?
we figured.
Thurman Thomas or Jim Kelly?
Really?
No,
Number
No.
2, Jalen Hurts.
No,
he's
no,
Oh.
no.
Come on.
You don't
Josh
hate
Allen?
Josh Allen that much.
You
do?
have no idea.
More than
Oh,
Dak?
really? Josh Allen, huh?
I didn't
Coming
think
in
it
at
would be
number
more than
2
Dak.
is Josh Allen.
Okay,
So now you have 2 teams left,
okay,
and
then
then
some
2
figures.
sports.
Can you
boy.
tell us
Shot.
Tell us the sports team. What sport do they play?
I have a baseball team and a hockey team.
Okay.
Red Wings.
No,
Stars.
the Dallas Stars.
Told
coming in
you,
at
I
number
knew it.
9.
Really?
Yes,
You were right.
I should have
You
went
were
with
right.
I should have went with my
I'm
gut.
sorry, Scott.
We
were
doubted
right.
you, Scott. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean,
baseball team
is
is
it an AL
should be the
Central
one.
team?
No, the baseball team should be
No.
the one that everybody knows and everybody hates.
Yankees.
Dodgers.
Correct. The New York Yankees come in at number 4.
And it's not
And then
Mark
I-
Shot.
Okay, so now it's two.
The final 3 answers are related to each other.
Oh, they're all media
okay.
people.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Skip
Scott
Bayless.
Skip Bayless.
Skip
Bayless
whatever
is
his name
Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith. There
And
we go.
Shannon
Is
Sharp.
at number 8. Nope. The last one is
Mel Kiper.
not a person, or it's a it's not a person. It's
The Fox football robot.
close. It's I'm just going to give you this one because this one is
Mascot.
just ESPN.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I can't stand anything they put on the television.
Then why do you watch it?
I don't. I try not to, but it's like on the TV when I'm like getting my oil changed or something, and it's just
Yeah.
you're kind of forced into it.
You
Anyway,
you have phones now that can distract you. You don't have to watch it.
and I try, but when I hear people screaming at me on the TV while I'm trying to play Candy Crush,
So Skip Bayless.
right? Yeah.
Not on
Anyway,
the screen.
So yes, the scores. The game has come to an end, and here are the final scores. With a score of 405, we have Horse Face Milestone and our clipboard captains of the game, who will be receiving the coveted Cooper Rush Award. We have only gorillas in the nation. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you, Alex, for coming on this episode. Sorry it ran a little long. It was going quick, and then you guys killed it. Thank you, Alex, for coming on. The floor is yours. Take a minute.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me. That was always a blast. In addition to repping my gorillas, I'm a high school basketball referee, so I like to get yelled at for my side gig. But for all the referees out there who maybe we miss calls, we know that, but hug a referee, don't hate them, hug them,
Exactly. Don't yell at somebody where you would not go do that job yourself.
Just keep it civil. Yell at them. I don't mind a little heckling. Just keep it civil, right?
Or just don't yell, because
we're talking upper sports. The kids' games, cool it, chill out a little bit.
yes. All right, there you go. Like I've reffed roller hockey before, and in adult leagues, and these guys need to calm down. It's over a t-shirt. Relax.
Right.
Well, this is episode 300. It has come to an end, and normally we don't throw it to anybody, but I want to take a minute and just thank all of our listeners. We've been doing this we're coming up. Is it 5 years? We're hitting 5 years soon.
4 years, according to some people.
5 years in
5.
March, May, whatever.
May.
First episode was in May, but we
End of
got
May,
together
May
in
31st.
March of 2020. I want to say is when we started. But thanks to everybody that's listened to us and taken time to download anything, support us in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, no, I can't believe this has been 5 years. And anyway, on behalf of Matt Doherty, Scott Grimes, Tako, this has been Ede, and you've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. And until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP.